Hey guys, welcome back to Honey in the Rock. I'm Sophie and this is Julia.
Hey y'all.
So Julia and I worked together this summer, and I just got to see her heart as she served, and it was really sweet. She is like, you were like unexpected. At first, I thought you were like kind of shy,
Yeah.
and then you came out, and it was so fun just to get to know her. She's so fun and kind and just joyful, and the Lord radiates and how she speaks and loves people, and so, I'm excited for you guys to get to meet her now today because she really is a joy to know and be friends with. And so, thanks for coming on.
Oh yes, and you're such a joy. Um,
Sweetie.
so yeah, I staffed with Sophie this past summer and it was so much fun. A little about me, I'm from a small town in Georgia called Vidalia. I was born and raised here. I'm a sophomore in college. I'm studying dental hygiene at Augusta University. So I've been getting stuff ready to move in because I'll be moving in shortly. So, yeah, that's a little about me. Um, and I'm so glad to be here and talk to you guys and talk being
Yeah.
Sophie. So,
You know how like people I told you this before, but like people like match their dream job or like what they're going to
yeah,
do. Oh yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense. That is 100% you. Like it's
Uh,
like the look, you look like you could do it, you sound like you can do it, like your personality goes with it makes so much sense. Um
I've heard that a couple times and I'm like, okay, maybe this is it. Like, I found it.
I love it.
Because
This is
I,
working.
I was originally nursing, and so it gives me a
Yeah.
lot of confidence that people are like, well, dental hygiene actually matches you. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
great. I
it
found it.
goes. It goes with your personality because
So,
it's always like you need somebody that's like good at talking and easy to like somebody could just sit down and talk to you easily.
yeah,
And I feel like that's what you need in it when you're doing people's teeth. It's always like
yeah,
kind of awkward because they can't really talk. But you're gonna be good at that, not making that awkward.
yeah.
If I need somebody, I know where I'm coming.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
I'll drive to Georgia.
Yeah, please.
Um, well, sweet. And what was the best part of the summer for you?
Um, the whole summer, I really can't pick like one
I
thing.
know. I hate that I
Um,
said that because I'm like, I couldn't
okay.
choose one.
Um, but I would say the overall thing is just seeing like students come from death to life was just such a neat opportunity. I've led like little small things at like VBS and all that, but like seeing it the whole summer was just so cool. Like getting that opportunity each week to see that
Right.
was such an encouragement, and just being part of a team that was amazing too. And getting to meet you guys and forming relationships with you guys was just so sweet. And it's sad that we might not be on a team again together, but I mean, it was just such a neat opportunity. So,
Yeah, yeah, it really was.
yeah,
Um, I've since I'm in home, and this will be coming out in the fall, but I think something that I've just been reflecting on and continuing to like pray, and it had to be a prayer like consistently through the summer, was that I wouldn't grow weary or numb to the fact of life change.
yeah,
And sometimes it just was like, okay, yay, we clap for it.
yeah,
But so much deeper than that.
right.
And it was just like this consistent prayer of like, Lord, let me stay in awe of what
Yeah,
you're doing. And I think that just goes to like all life.
yeah,
Whether that's going to church on Sunday morning, like let me not become numb to the fact that it's a gift that I get to worship in a congregation, or
right.
when I get to open up my own Bible that's in front of me. Like, let me not grow numb or not be in awe that you gave me the gift of your word.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes as believers, it's easy to like just become in the routine, and camp obviously like amplifies that of like you are seeing more life change than you would in a regular like setting. But just to not grow numb of the things
Yeah,
of the Lord. Like I don't want to grow, I just it's like I don't want to grow. I want to stay in awe. I want to always be amazed.
yeah,
Sharing the gospel, I don't want it just to be this thing I check the list. Like I want it to be like the God of the universe died for me.
mm,
That's and when did good news become numb to me? And I think that's sweet that you said that because now it just has me reflecting of like, I don't want to just, I don't know, ignore. and not
Yeah.
steady and consistent, like, amazement of who Jesus is and what he's done, and that's
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's like we're kingdom builders outside of camp as well. Like we have the opportunity, like even though we're not being commissioned by like leadership every day to go and um I don't know, teach Bible study, but every day
right,
we have the opportunity to build his kingdom, not just
yeah,
during the summer. So and it might not be the same atmosphere or environment and we're not getting as
right,
hype, but
right.
just carrying that out each day is I feel like such a neat experience that like you said we sometimes I think take for granted that we get to do that every day. So
Yeah. And even, like, learning more about the nations, like, um, Jesus has a heart for the nations, and then I should have a heart for the nations.
right.
But then, like, I just am like, "Oh, yeah, I get to go to church, and I have my Bible here, and, like, la, la, la," and then realizing, like, there's places where you literally cannot do that,
Hmm.
and there's languages, there's no Bible in their translation, and I'm like, "Lord, give me a heart like yours. Like, give me
Yeah.
eyes to see like you see, and break my heart for what breaks your heart." And that might be as I'm sharing the gospel or as I get to open up my Bible or go to church and not growing numb to things and not taking things for granted, but then it's like to not take them for granted, I have to keep this like the eyes for the nations because
Right.
then it's like I have to remember that I'm in the Bible Belt
Hmm.
and my grandma loves the Lord. It's like that is a gift in and of itself, and that story matters too. Um, but I've just been working on like keeping my eyes set on the others too.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just easy to get in a routine of like, okay, yeah, you said you were saved when you were 7 years old. Okay, cool. Let's keep going on with our lives.
Right.
And just stay in consistent awe of who Jesus is and what he did for us.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. You can share your testimony and you can
Okay.
start wherever you.
Sweet. Um, so I grew up in a Christian home. Both my parents are strong believers, and they've always just taught me good morals and taught me truths from the scripture. So it was kind of built in from the very beginning. But I actually got saved at a camp. It was called Windshed Camps, and it was in 2016, so I was 10. Um, and I like fully believe in the Lord. I believe that He had died and um, rose 3 days later and that he was living in my heart. Um, but I didn't really do anything about it. I was just like, okay, he's in my heart. I'm going to continue to obey my parents, my authorities, whatever. And so I was like, I mean, I was good. I just really didn't walk out that faith. I wasn't pursuing him on a daily basis, just kind of living life. And one thing about me is I'm a big people pleaser. And so I had this constant like striving to please people. And that's something that I definitely have learned throughout my walk is like our ultimately we should be pleasing the Lord. Like that should be our number one concern. And through that we can um strive to, you know, please people too, but that should not be our main priority.
Right.
Um so yeah, I just kind of was doing life and not really having like a personal relationship with the Lord. And then Fuge Camps was actually a big part of my testimony, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to staff Fuge. Um, so it was my second year of Fuge. I was a junior, and so I just started like during that week. I kind of forgot what the theme was, but one of the speakers that spoke this past summer was speaking. His name is Travis Agnew, and he was just talking about like the intentionality of being a Christian and how if we want to have that relationship with the Lord that's personal, we have to like be digging into His Word and finding the truths for ourselves. We can't just be doing what people say. Like I would hear like, "Hey, you need to be reading the Bible," and I would read the Bible, but I didn't have the heart motive of like, "I'm doing this because I want to go grow closer to the Lord." I was just doing it kind of to check off the box, I guess you could say.
Right.
Um, And so after that week, I was like, all right, I have to view my relationship with the Lord differently. I've got to view it as something that's like intimate and personal, and He's the Lord of my life, but I'm not treating Him like that.
Right.
And so I started getting discipled by a girl from my youth group, She was like one of the leaders, and it was so good. We would meet every week, and just finding out who the Lord was and who He was to me, and not just like hearing that He was this, but finding it for myself. Um,
Right.
and so I just started growing in love with the Lord from that point on, my junior year of high school, and just been trying to walk that out and grow closer and closer each day.
Yeah.
I think freshman year of college, so that would have been last year, I really, so I was away from my family. So if you're not getting constantly poured in by your parents, you kind of got to do it on your own.
Right.
And both my parents have been like strong encouragers
Right.
in my walk. And so just not being by them, I had to really like, and finding a church, getting plugged into a church by myself was kind of a struggle.
Right.
I didn't know anyone. And so it was just a lot, like having to
Mm.
do that by yourself, and then um, just getting into the word without that daily like pressure of someone telling you to do it. And
Right.
so that will really grow you when you have to actually make that personal, like, I'm doing this, like, because I think a lot of Christianity, like, you have to have discipline. Like, it's
Right.
not going to be easy to just pick up the word and read. You have to actually tell yourself, like, hey, I'm doing this because I want to know who the Lord is and who He is to me. Um, so yeah, and then um, yeah, and then after that I was like, all right, well, I want to serve the Lord, and so I was like, I'm going to do camp. Like I need to put my faith into action and start doing stuff, you know. So I was like, I think camp would be just an amazing opportunity to have that experience. And I'm not really like person who takes lead. Um, I don't know if you know that about me. You said I was shy at the beginning, and that is so me because I'm like, if somebody else wants to lead, I will let them lead.
Yeah.
So I'm more of like just a follower.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I was like, this will be a great opportunity for me to grow, like
Mm.
grow in my faith and grow confidence,
Yeah.
where I'm willing to step out and share my faith and even do it in front of a Bible study. And so I
Right.
was like, I'm doing this. And that's where I believe that the Lord like just totally equipped me. Um, I think whenever we're called to do something, we don't have to worry about being good enough, but that He's equipped us with everything we need
Yep.
to do that. And one of the verses that stuck out to me, actually I have it right here. It was
Yeah.
Luke 14:27. It says, "Whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." And I
Mm.
was like, okay, that means I'm gonna have to step out, be uncomfortable, and do what the Lord has put in front of me.
Gosh.
Um, and that's why I love like we had to do that comfortably uncomfortable thing or
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I don't remember what it was called,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it was that the first day of um, staff training.
Yeah.
Um, and I had to go to the park. So that was definitely like a step out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Um, and so I feel like that really prepared me for the summer. Like I'm gonna have to do this every day. Like I'm gonna have to step out and
Mm.
share what the Lord's laid on my heart. So
Right.
yeah, that's a little about me and just how much camp has impacted me and gave me confidence for the Lord and sharing His name. So
Yeah. That's incredible. And I think it's really sweet just again of like the faithfulness of the Lord
yeah,
in your story. And of course he's faithful to all of us. That's his character. And but I think that's just really evident in the forefront of your story. And I think it's also sweet that you notice that. It's
yeah,
not like it's like, oh, la la la, like you see it, and I think that's really sweet. It also speaks of your character. Um and I just like love how you spoke on experiencing Jesus for yourself because whether you grew up in a Christian home or not, there becomes a time where you have to choose Jesus for yourself.
right, yeah,
And you're either going to keep going through these motions and checking the boxes and pretending because that's what your mom and your grandma and your daddy did. And eventually it becomes a time to like, this is who I wanna believe in. This is who I wanna follow. And then we have to, die to ourselves daily and pick up the
yes,
cross and follow him,
yeah,
as you said. And so I think that's really sweet that you got to experience the Lord on your own and, like, in his kindness, allowing you to do that, being like, "Okay, this is incredible, but this is what I
yeah,
do for my parents. But now this is something bigger than me doing it for my parents. I'm doing this because I love who Jesus is."
right,
Um
yeah.
and there is no other point. And,
Mhm.
just, like, building that firm foundation in Him for when times are hard and, in harder seasons and good seasons, like, you have this foundation built on the one thing that doesn't change, and, that's just so sweet that the Lord has been gracious to you in that way.
Yeah.
And just again, he equips us for every good work that
Right.
he's calling us to. And so it's like, okay, you might be more of a leader, but then I mean a follower, but then when he calls you to a place where you need to be a leader, he equipped it. You
Right.
or like at school, like, okay, this is who I need to love on. How am I supposed to love this person? We have
Yeah.
nothing else but- and then the Lord equips you for that.
Yeah.
Or he gives you patience, or he gives you self-control, like all of these things he equips us for when he calls us to it. And it's just like so sweet that it's literally nothing we could do.
Yeah.
Like, I could not do this on my own. I could not serve in this way on my own, or, I couldn't do anything on my own, and realizing that, and then seeing that our God is so big and He equips us for what He's calling us to do. I think that's just so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, you said people pleasing was like a struggle,
Yeah.
and and you have to live just for the approval of God, but I feel like that is something that a lot of us fall into so easily. Um so what did that look like to start, like, almost like retraining your brain to not your first reaction be like, "What is everyone else gonna think of this?" Or, "I wanna make sure everyone else is good." Like, what does that kind of look like? And obviously, it's something we all still struggle with even when we figure it
Yeah.
out a
So it's just this striving for perfection,
Mm,
which I learned very quickly over the summer is not achievable.
right.
Um, so it was just like a constant need to make sure people weren't upset with me or people were actually accepting and liking what I was
Mhm.
doing.
Right.
Um, and I just like it was just resetting my mind to things above, um, and just following the Lord. And through that, if people don't like it, there's nothing you can do about that. You know, it's just like you follow the Lord the best you can, and then if people aren't pleased through that, um, then that is what it is.
Yes.
Our our heart should be to please Him first, and so that was just something I had to learn,
Yep.
and just set my priorities different. As far as like not having my first priority to be um, pleasing those around me, but pleasing Him, and through that, you can please those around you. So
Gosh, that's really good, and I think it's like, okay, if I'm focused on serving the Lord first,
yeah,
then I'm gonna serve others well.
right,
If they don't like me in that way, then that's not in my control. Uh, I feel like like what you're saying, it's almost like realizing what you're in control of and what you're not in control of, and
yes,
no matter how hard I try, I'm not in control of what other people think of me.
yeah,
And so I could try to be everything they want me to be, but that's exhausting. And eventually I have to realize that I might not be everyone's, best friend. I might not be who everyone wants to hang out with, but as long as I'm striving to look more like Jesus, then I don't need to be striving
yeah,
to like please all of them. And then I
yeah,
feel like the people then who do love you in that is like, okay, these are my people.
right,
And and so I also like that set your mind on things above instead of it
mhm,
being, "What are they gonna think?" Or "Am I being rude?" And this and this and this, like, looking at inwards and outwards so much, start looking upwards.
yeah,
Then Philippians 4:8, I think, is what it is, and it says, "Set your mind on things above, things that is true and worthy and noble and trustworthy." And it's like, that's what my mind should be instead of stop thinking, "I need to stop trying to worry about what everyone else thinks. I need to stop worrying about what everyone else thinks." You're gonna keep worrying about what everyone thinks. But instead of then you just switch.
yeah,
Okay, well, I'm just gonna start thinking of the things above.
yeah,
I'm gonna start walking into a room and saying, "Does everyone like me? Or what are they thinking of me right now?" And instead think, "Who can I love in this room well? And who
right,
can I serve in this room well?"
yeah.
Um,
Who needs Jesus' love in this room?
yes. And just, like, switching that perspective of this outward and inward worrying and start being like, "Okay, how can I upwardly serve?" Um, and so I think that's sweet because that's something we should all I like so many girls I feel like struggle with that, and so, I feel like that's good advice to give. Just like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
Yeah, my
That
mom would always tell me, she said, "Make sure the vertical is right, and then
mm,
the horizontal will fall into place." So your relationship with the Lord, make sure that's good and that that's solid, and then all the other relationships will fall into place. So,
gosh,
yeah.
that's good. That's a good line. I'm gonna write that one down. Keep this vertical and straight. Horizontal come.
Yep.
That's so good. Well, Julia, thank you for sharing your story and
Yeah.
just pointing everything back to just the goodness of our Savior. And
Yeah.
so, just the way you live and love is so clear that the Lord has changed your life, and I'm excited to see what the Lord is going to do in and through your life.
I'm excited too, Sophie. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
This was fun.
I know. I'm just like, I just love it. And it just is this consistent reminder of like, no matter what we came from, good or bad, how we find the Lord is just the sweetest story. And again, I'm
Yeah.
just like, I don't want to grow numb to that.
Yeah.
This life
And
is it's really sweet.
yeah, and I think that was so neat to meet people at camp, like specifically campers who had a different lifestyle than me. And I was like, how am I going to minister to them? Their life is completely different than mine, and they're going
Right.
through so
Right.
much different things than what I am. But the fact that we can connect, that we're made uniquely by the Father, and that He is our Father, we can connect over that. And um, so yeah, I just think it's so cool how stories can connect, even though they look completely different. So
Right. Right. And like we're all in need of Jesus just
right,
as much.
yeah,
From the broken home to the home that's not as broken, or
yeah,
the sin that seems unmovable, to like all of it. Like we're all in the same amount of need of Jesus.
yeah.
We all deserve hell, and Jesus made a way out of that. And so,
Yeah.
and that's really sweet. Well, I love you.
I
I
love
miss.
you,
I wish I
Sophie.
could see you right now.
I know. I wish I
Um,
could give you a hug right now.
I know. I know. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yes,
And
of course.
thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.